So, Oxygen not included has had a major update quite a while ago at this point, but this is the first time that I'm loading up this save for this. Now, I have been playing around a little bit on a separate save with the full Spaced Out DLC, but this is still the original game world, so it doesn't have like the Spaced Out DLC, like multiple planets or radiation as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong about that, but it does have a lot of other things. In addition to the multitude of bug fixes and quality of life features, please pay attention to these changes which may affect your existing colony. Fridges are more effective for early game food storage. Both freezing temperatures and sterile gas are needed for total food preservation. We're already good with this one. We already worked that one out, so we're fine with that. Deodorizer now requires 5 watts of power. Duplicants will get stinging eyes from gases such as chlorine and hydrogen. Yep, we already know that. Many simulation bugs have been fixed. This may change the effectiveness of certain contraptions such as steam turbine setups. And the oxygen mask station has been added to aid early game exploration. Use the new meter valves for precise control of resources in pipes. So on and indeed so forth. Now that is an update that was pushed out that we partially didn't need. Some of those changes that it mentioned, we've already dealt with. And we've already dealt with them because we were kind of playing on the beta version of those updates. So, for example, I do believe... Oh, actually, maybe we hadn't. Maybe I hadn't hooked all of these. Oh, no, we have. We definitely have. So all of the deodorizers, for example, have been hooked up to power and stuff like that. And the refrigeration is all... FUBAR. That's just the way that is. However, there are a lot of other things that have changed, namely in the oh, we're gonna need to bring this over, aren't we? Oh no, we already have. Namely in the simulation itself. So there are a couple of things that we're gonna need to deal with, but we're by and large okay for the time being. Oh my lord, this place is just a mess. Such a beautiful, beautiful mess. We are slowly melting the everything down here. Now, do we actually have a radiation display? No, we don't. That's a shame. Because these bloody things in Spaced Out... the Wheezewort is an entirely different beast in Spaced Out. This thing... I mean, it's always been a crazy thing, because it's actually an animal, not a plant. That chills the area around it when it through its respiration. But it's now deeply radioactive. Having one of these next to anyone is kind of crazy. I have to ask, how much time was put into this one save file? Quite a lot. We're 1,913 cycles in. But I play a lot of the game on slow speed, so it's not quite the same as a lot of creators who are very familiar with the game who'll just race through it on high speed. We're not that far into it in that kind of sense, but yeah, we've put a fair bit of effort into it so far. Fair bit of effort, I will say. Oh, I did not realize that. It explains so much. Oh no. Oh no. Did you not realize that the Wheezeworts are ultra radioactive? Like just being next to one is now. I can't remember what it says. I think it says. It isn't even safe. I think it says slightly risky. Like, just being next to a Wheezewort is now slightly risky in terms of the radiation buildup. You have 2 or 3 of them together because you're trying to run a Radbolt setup. Any duplicant even remotely close to that is going to be seriously dosed with radiation. We're talking, like, you know, Spider-Man powers levels of radiation. They aren't in my base yet, but my derps have been running around in an area with them. Yeah. Yeah. Can we have a zoom out view of the planet? Of course you may. Of course you may. I mean, oh, actually it's Alt-S, isn't it? Well, so, this is on the old style setup. So, we've got a, like a large asteroid, effectively. But there you go. Yeah, more like Bruce Banner levels of radio. Actually, Darkfire Phoenix, that's quite true. Quite true. Yeah, better stock up on Rad-X and Radaway. Yeah, you don't want, like, let me give you an idea. Where is it? Over here. If this were in just pure spaced out DLC, this whole room would be... I'm not even sure what you would liken it to. This would be outputting, like, impossibly dangerous levels of radiation. We're talking, like, you know, enriched fissile material just kind of left out in the open levels. Demon core levels. It would be so bad. Someone just popping in for a second to pick up a microchip or tune up one of these would probably just come out the other side, you know, with extra limbs and vomiting horribly. Ultra badness would be going on in there right now. Dark Raven, thank you very much for the 4 months, mate. And 3 AM Crypto, thank you very much for the gifted sub. That's super kind of you. Diolch. But yes, so do be aware, Weezwart's ultra bad now. Ultra not fun. However, the big reason why we stopped playing on this save has been fixed. Because when we last played, and we checked it out in kind of like the beta version of Spaced Out DLC, meteorites had stopped. Because in Spaced Out, you don't have meteorites. So that's, you know, it's understandable that that whole system was kind of, as they would, through the big merge update, that was just kind of nixed from the base game. But it was nixed in error. And a lot of our setup right now is kind of running off that. We've got a rather convoluted setup for collecting regolith and feeding it to our infinite food dispensary. That stopped. Also, we use it to warm up the gas in here to give us a little bit of extra power. We do a lot of things with regolith. We spent a lot of time and an awful lot of steel making this. And so to have that suddenly not work anymore was kind of a downer. But now that's all been fixed. That's all been fixed. So, Aavak, in other news, I started my new job today. Slightly more social interaction. Half again as much pay. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. Either way, congratulations on the new job, though. Oh, half again as much. Not half as much. Sorry, no, it's an absolutely good thing. Right. Sorry, I read that as half as much pay. And I was like, I mean, is it? What are you trying to maximize for? Pay or social interaction? Because depending on which one you're trying to maximize for, I don't know. I'll then know whether to congratulate or commiserate. But no, that's a flat upgrade. Well done. Songswift, I thank you very much for the gifts up there. It's very kind of you. Baby, born yesterday at 3 p.m. CDT. Well, congratulations, mate. I hope the labour was as swift and as uncomplicated as possible. Right. With all of that said and done, we have got our rocket setup over here, which we are currently just sending out to the closest areas. We're also trying to recapture some of the steam and then repurpose that power, so on and indeed so forth. We are in the process... Oh, my lord. You know what? I think I kind of need to just let the simulation run for a second so it knows what's happening. There we go. Boom. Right. Okay, good. So we can now see how much natural gas is in the buffer there. We've got 2 natural gas vents feeding to it. One down all the way down here. Also being fed up there. We've more or less explored the map, but I really do want to clear out more of the map. I would love it if we could just start venting more of the map and or freezing it. Let's liquefy all that CO2. So it takes up significantly less space. But our extremely expanded and ultra lush area over here, coming along, I think. Coming along well. We'll have to see what we do with it, but so far so good in that regard. This is going to be our little park area. We're going to have 2 plants there, 2 plants there, and a little park sign or maybe a nice something or other. They're going to have to go through that to get to the Atmos suit. It's going to be the new home. There's a lot of other stuff going on. We have currently had to release all of our hatches, which does mean we're not really producing coal as such, which is an issue. One that I hope to fix relatively soon, if I'm honest. the way that we're going to be setting up the base, we've got a little area down here for food. That we're going to be only bringing in as much food as this can hold at any one time. And that will be piped over. We've got 2 great halls available to access that. There's going to be... It will have a sterile gas, like CO2 or something like that. Like this pipe there is going to only open when there isn't enough CO2 in there, so on and so forth. It's not going to be chlorine, though. Whereas we're probably going to keep the food as it gets cooked and such in a sterile, frozen environment. So chlorine, sub-zero temperatures, and that's where the food will sit after it's been cooked. It might even be where I cook the food. We'll have to see. Yeah, we're going to need some gas sorting, yes, absolutely. There's lots of little projects that I need to do. We've also got many volcanoes that I still haven't tapped. We've got a incredibly hot CO2 vent over here that I would kind of like to tap into if I'm able. What I would like to do, ultimately, is to have that cooled via the cooling in this steam room, but also, like, bleed that heat up there if we can. And then pump that out when it reaches a certain level. Basically, I want to try and make use of the heat that comes out of here as much as I can to get a little bit of extra power. And then pipe that CO2 off over here for my slicksters, which are slowly but surely, multiplying into the molten slickster form, which I'm very happy about. This is my little slickster farm. They're doing a very good job, and this is... I mean, they're not happy up here. This is bad news bears for them, really. This is where the slicksters go when there's too many of them. Basically, each slickster area passes down to the next one, and then gets loaded into the incubators, passes down to the next one, gets loaded into the incubators. By here, this is only molten slicksters. But then any extra eggs here get pumped all the way up and into there, where they eventually hatch and eventually starve to death. I don't want to just dump the egg into a pool of water and wait for it to hatch and then for it to drown, okay? This is gladiatorial. Okay, look, this is the way I'm justifying the fact that we're just putting them in there so that they eventually die. I'm giving them the opportunity to eat their fallen and thus preserve themselves. It's survival of the fittest for as long as they... it's a horrible place, basically. It's a horrible place. Nevertheless, this is where we put them. I could, I suppose, have the eggs automatically just like marched out and cracked. I could drop the eggs up here and have just a single place up there that cracks eggs. That way it would restrict the cracking that goes on. Only that one place cracks. Someone drops in, but it's just one of those things. The alternative is I could just drop them out there, I suppose, and just let them live their happy life in all of that CO2, producing oil everywhere, which I don't need. But it is what it is. We've got a lot of water. It's just kind of dribbled down here and it's filled this area up. We've got a couple of oil wells still. We've got plenty of liquid all over the place. We've got all kinds of messed up oil, frankly, that is constantly breaking everything, frankly, which I am very unhappy about. And that needs to be fixed. Right now, we've got some thermoaqua tuners down here. They can just run forever because this water is never going to run out. Realistically speaking, there's always going to be cool enough. Our cooling system is... Well, our cooling system isn't, really. It's a nightmare mess. Currently, my kind of industrial brick in here is serviced by a pipe network that... Oh, let me bring that back up again. Is exchanging heat with this room and with the power area. So the industrial area is kept in a balmy, steamy condition, and then that gets recycled into my steam turbines every now and then. But mostly, that heat comes from the metal refineries when they're running. I don't even think we have a thermoaqueous unit down here anymore. No, we don't. We basically rely on the energy generation to heat the room up enough that the steam turbines turn on. Ethics is for those who aren't into... See, this is the thing, is if I made a... If I was going full Dark Aavak, then this would be a very different colony. I'm trying my best to afford some sort of comfort and care to our food. New planetoid detected. My duplicants and astronomical efforts have uncovered a new planetoid. That's not a new planetoid. I don't... What? That's definitely not a new one. What are you talking about? What? Have you uncovered a new planetoid, or are you fibbing to me? Because if so, I'm going to need to redesign everything so I can... No, okay, we're good. There isn't a new planetoid, that's a lie. However, new automation ports, though. That part is quite possible. No, that is quite intentional. As is that one. That too. Okay, I'm just going to assume that you're lying to me at this point, which is a dangerous assumption, I know, but we'll see how it goes. Hey, Wolfo, how you doing? Derpaholics Anonymous, hi, Text Toaster. Oh, by the way, chat, some of you have been here while I've been playing Distant Worlds and, indeed, Aurora. And yes, we will be doing Aurora again soon, and Distant Worlds for that matter. I bought Shadow Empire. Hopes and prayers, please. Send them to me now. Because, oh my god. Yeah. Shadow Empire. I picked up Shadow Empire. I probably shouldn't have. It was bound to happen, really. What was that? You just bought Shadow the Hedgehog? Yes. I bought Shadow the Hedgehog. I stuffed him in a shoebox. I haven't decided what to do with him next. I will accept suggestions. Well, let's get this place sorted. Okay, finally we're unpausing everything and we're going to see how things go. My good lord. We are still cleaning up from where we had all of the hatches set up there. Because basically I need to clear this area out, as I intend to put in a cooling system for this area. Shadow Empire is super fun. I mean, I'm definitely finding it super fun so far. Also super dense. Super information dense. Serious, thank you very much for the third month, second best month. Diolch yn fawr iawn. As you can see down here, we've got a couple of things set up such that they will just dump liquids straight down. And I'm probably going to have a plastic pump down here just to pick that up and get rid of it. Critter starvation. Well, why are you starving, Shuffles? We've got plenty of food coming your way, don't we? We've got loads of food. There we go, see? Plenty of noms. You just need to fight your brothers and sisters to get them. How many brothers and sisters do you have? You've got 79 brothers and sisters and 33 nieces and nephews. Yeah, you just need to fight them off to get to the feeding trough. It's fine. I believe in you, Shovels. Ah, Oni. Great game. Oh, I'm glad you think so. Right now, just to cover how this all works. So let me actually pause it, because in the last stream we discovered that asteroids were broken. Asteroids are no longer broken. Let me just make sure that I've still got it set up to protect things the way it's meant to. Also, I've just immediately noticed an issue there. Let me vent that out in this direction. I would like that down here, and then this removed. I'll make those incredibly high priorities, because if I don't, then there's every possibility that someone will go up there and get stuck out there during an asteroid, during a meteorite impact. Right, okay, so let's have a watch. Make sure this is all working. These two are set to track any asteroids, or meteorites rather. If they detect one, they shut everything down. This one is set to detect a ship. And this is on an ore. Basically, if they, because I'm using NOT gates, if they don't detect meteorites, then they open all of the doors. If they have shut down the doors, because they detect meteorites, this gets closed. But if this detects that a ship is coming in, then that will be green. So this will keep these open for as long as it's returning for. Okay. Marlo's Folly, hello mate. Thank you very much for the 8 months, buddy. And hello, Miss Minnie. I'm a little bit worried. I feel that I love our pair of threes, okay? We've got Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And we've got Dot, Bob, and Enzo. I don't want to split them up. I really don't. But having three sweepy dogs in the same place is just meaning that they're very inefficient. I need two. I need one on each side, basically. Oh, look here. Spartan kicks the door and says hello. Hi. Oh, dear. We have a Bob. We do. We do. But I do worry. I mean, this one's an obvious reference. I would be shocked if anyone didn't get Bob, Dot, and Enzo. But I would consider a little bit more that you are a fan of very old movies if you get Huey, Dewey, and Louie. However, I do feel that having only two on each side would massively improve their efficiency. DuckTales? No. No. Though I wonder if DuckTales was in reference to the movie. Might be. But yes, reboot reference. I imagine everyone gets that one. Okay, so I'm thinking that we swap out to just have two. One on each side. Yeah, final sight there. Silent running. Well played. We could go with reboot still. We can definitely have pairings. We could have Bob and Dot. We could have hexadecimal and megabyte. Well, we could go with another, you know, obvious pairing. Megabytes to incompetent henchpots. We could. Yeah, actually. That would be solid. That would definitely be solid. There are, of course, some other options as well. Let's see. We could go with... If we wanted to be a little bit more obscure... I mean, there's the obvious pairing with Enzo. However, we could 100% go a slightly different angle. I mean, because you could obviously go with Andrala and Matrix. Or, if you wanted to be a little bit more obscure, you go with Matrix and Interface. I don't know. There's definitely a kind of a Band of Brothers kind of vibe with Matrix and Interface. You could go with Frisket, yeah? Yeah, you totally could go with Frisket, actually. Now, I think we're going to go with Matrix and Interface. So, is Bob in the middle? Oh, fantastic. That's even better. All right. Bob's dock. How do I rename Bob's dock? I need... Bob, I need to rename your dock. How does one do this? I forget. I actually don't remember how to rename a sweepy. Oh, rename the sweepy, not the dock. Right. Thank you. There we are. Right. Okay, so. Oh, what do we got behind there that you're about to break? Oh, I know. There'll be the dry dock, won't it? Yeah, cancel that. Drywall, rather. Goodbye, Doc. Goodbye, Enzo. Goodbye, Huey. Goodbye, Louie. And hello, Enzo again. Perfect. Now that's going to take a little while for someone to get up there, and it's going to be a little bit sad to see 4 of them go. But the remaining 2 are going to be so much more efficient at cleaning up. I am playing with the Spaced Out DLC, Wolf. I'm just not playing in the Spaced Out DLC campaign. So some of the Spaced Out DLC content is disabled, but this is... because this save was started prior to Spaced Out DLC, but has had a lot of the changes that Spaced Out DLC brought in, merged into it, effectively. Hey, Skull Ghost, how you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the 75 months. I'm doing really well, mate. How about yourself? I hope you had a fantastic, fantastic Christmas so far. Still making a load of oxalite. Alright, let's go and find out what my dupes are doing. They're probably doing a bajillion different tasks, because honestly, this entire base is just a mess in that regard. Ah, where goats, so unhappy. Oh, that's even worse. Where's that water coming from? Is it leaking down from somewhere? Oh, it still is. Yes. Okay. Okay, that's an infinite job then. I am so sorry. Let me just cancel. Yeah, you'll never, ever finish that job. Fine. We won't do it then. It's fine. Right, so this is where we moved the hatches over. I still need to get this fixed. In fact, to that end, I'm going to set that up as something to do. Just so that we've got the hatches all set up properly. They're producing all of the coal that we need. Did the ferrets enjoy their Christmas? Yes. I mean, as far as I can tell, the ferrets just enjoy existing. This is very, very nicely temperature controlled. Would you please stop that, you little scoundrel, you? That one is being disconnected, so should be deconstructed. Please sweep that mess at the bottom of this waterfall. Yeah, pretty much exactly what was being told. I feel bad. That's why this is full all the time. Right, okay. Everything's suddenly making sense now. Little bit by little bit. But yeah, this place is slowly coming to... Oh, no. I hope... Okay, good. That has been disabled. Someone took off their Atmos suit down here. 4 people did. Ah, balls. Please move those back to where they gotta go. Ah, the trouble with Atmos suit docks. Not even sure if all of them are coming back here now, so I'm just gonna have to say... I'm just gonna have to tell them to drop 4 of them back off. That's annoying. Oh, on that note, do they need to be repaired now? They might do. Yes, they do. Okay, forever repair them. Now that wasn't a thing that we needed to do in the past, but now Atmos suits wear down. Do we have all of the skills for the dupes as well? We do. Okay, so we have expanded out the skills. Alright, okay. Okay. So we've got a lot of skills that I need to apply. Right, well, first and foremost, suit sustainability training. Better athletics, and it'll slow the durability damage. Rocket piloting, suit wearing. Rocket navigation, suit wearing. I don't think we're going to be going down that route. I mean, you never can anyway, so that's fine. Let's grab this. You are going to go this route, though. Sure. James, there we are. Rocket navigation for you. Let's get that done. Actually, if I'm kind of feeling that I want to give everyone, like, maximum science skills just so that they can learn their skills faster. Because I've got no issue right now with having morale. Like, we are cloud 9 morale-wise. There is no problem with that at all. I'm so sorry I'm tripping over words. You know what, Chad? I'm just gonna admit it. Ever since I started thinking about Bob, Dot, and Enzo, I've had the bastardized Gilbert and Sullivan playing in my head. And then the moment I started talking about Matrix and Megabyte, I have literally had... I joined my gun with Pirate Sword and took the form of Interface, playing over and over and over and over in my mind. God damn it! I poisoned my own brain! I did it to myself. I have no one else to blame but me. Which is particularly galling. I like to be able to blame other people for these things, but sadly no. Not this time. What? Oh, you're on ownership. Need to give brain more brain. Yes. Where is Morden? Oh, of course, yeah. Oh. I love the way the Mordin spoke. I gleed in Welsh when I encountered that character in Mass Effect 2. I think Minya was particularly tickled by my reaction. Right, there we go. We can't do anything else, so they're just going to have to accept that one. Right, okay, that's good enough. Boom. Continue. Then Bob came face to face with hexadecimal. No, actually, what was it? And Bob came face to face with hexadecimal. Ah, my lord. Actually, how did that song start? Dum, 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 dum. The web invaded mainframe Sprite and Virus battle side by side, attempted to reclaim the city from the rift which opened wide. Megabyte betrayed Bob and he threw him deep inside the pit. The pit was closed, the Bob with hose, and all that he could say was no, or something along those lines. Is there oxygen included? Well, in the Atmos suits, yes, actually, as it happens, quite a lot. We've got an awful lot of oxygen around the base right now. Very great amounts of it. Also, our SPOM is making extra power. Yay, SPOM. All of the power. All of the time. And then some of it is just getting pumped out of the universe. Be gone! I really should actually filter that somewhere around here. It would be good to have a series of filters, because I do actually want this. Some of these gases, like, you know, the hydrogen, I could totally use the hydrogen. Because I am now actually getting to the point where I am filtering out some of the gases I kind of want. And as it stands right now, I am peeling off the natural gas, which is good. Some oxygen is going over here to make extra oxalite, also good. We've got more oxygen than I know what to do with. So that's being used to cool down my systems. If we zoom in, what happens is I allow a tiny flow of gas, just 50 grams a second out. And that gas then just swoops up. It's relatively cool, 38 degrees. I mean, it's cool for what we're doing. And then that gas gets very hot, very, very fast. And then just gets sucked out into the cold and caring void of space. But as a consequence, keeps my auto miners cool. And everything else around them cool as well. That kind of got messed up a little bit. 100% oxygen atmosphere. Yes, that's smart. I know, right? Nothing at all could ever go wrong with that. One day they will add gas mixing into this and it will change this game forever. It really will. The moment gases can just bleed, and this is true as well for obviously for any liquids as well. I want the conductive wire, please, and thank you. Let's deconstruct that. And down here, I think the conductive wire is going straight up. Yeah, so that's fine. Right, new principles are available. What do we got? What? I search my incoming message history and find a single entry. I move the odd... What? Apparently, there was something for me to investigate there. But nevertheless, let's choose a blueprint. Well, I don't want anyone else yet, so I'm going to take the Makrut. More food! Gone are the days when we had like 30 million kilocalories worth of food. And because now you can't store it. You need it to be perfectly frozen in a sterile atmosphere for it to be kept. Now, what are we going to do in here? Because eventually you are going to get gases in here that we're not going to want. I'm thinking that we probably want a cap at the top. The lightest gases can get up there, move along, and then just get sucked up and gotten rid of. Might be worth doing, actually. We could even go full hog and actually have an entire floor that's empty except for a couple of vents. Same down here if I really wanted to. We haven't got any flatulent dupes. We haven't got any dupes that will make any kind of... produce any kind of erroneous atmosphere. So generally speaking, the only way something's going to get in here is from over here. Now, if we build this right, that will never be a problem. We'll never be in a position where we'll need someone else to come through any door that isn't this. Because even now we have the means to manage that. We've got a manual generator there. So we can just... Even if power dropped everywhere else, that manual generator... Someone would eventually be able to power up the transit tube and the atmosuit checkpoint to get someone back out. That's probably what we're going to be doing as well. But yeah, all of the gas down there is kind of a terrible, terrible thing. But we do want to start dealing with the waste gases a bit better. So right now, CO2 is going elsewhere. We're piping that all the way over. We're actually doubly checking that this is in fact CO2. That is filtering out carbon dioxide. That is filtering out carbon dioxide. So we know that this line can only possibly... Why have I got two of them? Oh, because I don't know what I'm bringing in from over there. Okay. Alright. And these two are pumping out whatever is in here. Basically, I'm trying to equalize the pressure, I guess. So I know that this is CO2. What was I doing here? Filters natural gas. If that's there, that gets pumped out. Otherwise, I'm assuming it goes over here. And if this is carbon dioxide, it gets pumped out that way. Otherwise, it goes this way. So realistically... I don't actually need that there. I can actually have this one go straight up and join up in this location. I know that that's CO2 coming down. Actually, since I know that this is always going to be CO2, I could just branch over there. There's no reason for me to be making this more complicated than it is. So how about I just do that? That's going to save me so much more effort. I have to go through that check anymore because I know that this has to be CO2. It can't be anything else thanks to these two filters. There's probably a good couple of places I can make this better, actually. Let's just strip that down. All the way back down here. And bump the priority over here to 7. There we go. Ardent Drab, thank you very much for the resub. 19 months. Hey, Aavak. Hope you and Lady Sheila are well. We are. Thank you very much. And just in case I missed this one, PK Henkel. I do believe I missed it because I would have remembered saying that name. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. That's very kind of you. Yeah, carbon dioxide becomes a massive issue in this game eventually. But I do need to feed my slicksters with CO2. And I don't have nearly enough of it right now. Like, not nearly enough of it right now.